Mongoose Jake here, back with a new video after taking a few weeks of break away from recording tank videos. And here we find myself in one of my favorite tank destroyers, bar none. I definitely would put the Nashorn top 3 for me. And of course the Jagdpanzer IV and probably the Jagdpanther rounding that out. The fun mid-tier German tank destroyers. The Jagdpanther, nice all-arounder. The Jagdpanzer IV, nice DPM, kind of stealthy machine. And then the Nashorn, probably the best weapon, tier for tier. You know, best weapon in the game. Because this long 88, while the Nashorn itself is pretty limited, you know, it's not very fast, it's huge profile, no armor, open top. So you have to play it very much at the back line, looking for people to spot for you. Like you find me here on Studzianki, looking for somebody, anybody, medium or light, to get out front and hopefully light up some targets. I decide I'm probably going to have to camp out back here by this boulder. There's a couple of very obvious bushes, one on each side, and I should have already done it. I should knock over some extra trees as more cover so it's not so obvious. But now at this point, enemy artillery is looking. I've waited too long to do this, and they are going to fire over here because they're probably going to see these trees going down, and I'm being careful. I'm knocking extra down that I don't really need to, but it's kind of all in deception. But half the time, enemy artillery will be looking at that. And here it comes. So got to be careful if you knock over trees. And if you do it early enough, the artillery is not in position yet. Now, I am literally playing mind games with him there. I'm making whoever it was. I'm betting it's the M44. Could have been the Grell, but the shell impact seemed like the larger 155 of the M44. But I'm going to make him think by knocking over the tree in the direction that somebody would have if they were leaving. Make him think I left. Thankfully, the Type 64 came over here to the north, and he can light up what's guaranteed to be at least one or two enemies on that hill. I move over to avoid maybe that random chance that an M44 lands a shot right into my crew compartment, which would be nightmarish for me because he would get to do max damage. So I move over to the railroad tracks. Also, the elevation on it gives a little better shots on the hill. Because the main reason I was going to camp out there at B1 behind the rock was I didn't have a spotter. So myself and the Stug would be relying on my binoculars to do the spotting. And I needed concealment and hard cover. Well, the Type 64 is providing me with an alternative. And because of that, all I have to do is make sure that Thunderbolt doesn't get within the white circle. The white circle, of course, is your maximum detection range where you can be detected. So it would be like a Nashorn that's really tall, out in the open, while firing. Would be pretty easy for him to spot if he's got optics. I actually move up because if you notice, as long as he doesn't push over the edge of the hill, that white circle isn't within his reach. So I move up to get a little bit better angle. But as I notice, look to the south. The south is losing bad. So instead of hanging back, the Thunderbolt seems to kind of have backed off a bit. So I'm just going to take the chance that he's not going to get too aggressive. He looks like one shot made him back off. And he's getting some shots into the heavies, so he may stay on the backside of the hill. And with us losing the south, I don't want to be caught out of position. So I move up here, where there is still enough concealment that I won't be readily spotted. And I can turn around if needed, as you see me continuously panning over, because now I'm wanting to keep the Type 64 alive. He actually came over to help, but I can also support base in the south with a nice clean shot in the turret of the T-50-2. But now I can kind of keep up both ways. As long as the Thunderbolt doesn't push over, I can focus on the south. If he does push over, I'm going to have to turn around and focus my attention on him. And now, of course, a Hellcat got spotted. So I definitely need to turn my attention this way. Back up behind the cover and concealment, so I can fire through it, not get spotted. And now I can kind of punish the Thunderbolt for making the move forward. And then snag a very nice shot right into the top of his turret. So now the Hellcat's going to think twice. And unfortunately, the Stug made a big mistake. I do not know why he charged. It would have been nice to have him move instead of the Stug charging. Would have been nice for him to drive to B1 and sit there at the edge of the tracks. Instead, now it's pretty much up to me to clear out these enemies, trying to keep the artillery alive, trying to keep the Junior from taking too much flanking fire, and I'm having to back up, reacquire the target, and Chinu's lucky for a second as I just blow his tracks off, but the follow-up shot punches through true, and now here comes the T-50-2. He's going to charge over. I'm already anticipating this, leading the shot, and finish him off, which is going to get me spotted. I don't wait for the Sixth Sense, because if you don't know it, which you should by now, but if you don't know, there's a 3-second delay between you actually being spotted and the Sixth Sense going off. So I duck down into low ground, get behind terrain, drive around long enough that I'm unspotted. The Jackson pulls out right into my gun. Now, of course, I'm spotted again. So repeat the maneuver. They should be expecting this, but I'm going to repeat the maneuver, get back up into the bushes, and try to see if I have enough view range. I got to be careful, not knock any trees down, because they know I'm here or in the vicinity, so artillery will be looking in my direction. Let's see if my binoculars can activate and spot. The answer is no. If I can't spot them, they're not likely to spot me. So a couple blind shots, it's worthwhile. There's only one person on. I can maybe get lucky. But no luck, so move over. My next position is going to be the bush here next to the building. And I do note that shot coming in from very close. That will be the grill. I don't realize exactly how close he is until here in a second. But luckily it's the KB1 spot, or KB1 capping, and he has no chance of ever spotting me. That thing is blind as can be. So take him all out. Now, is it going to be the M44, or is it going to be the M10 RBFM, who was in the south, but he could be back in cover? And the M44, the enemy one, could have easily drove around. He's actually the fastest vehicle left, is the M44s on each team. I back off, and I'm thinking of, I need to move around and get to other bushes. If you watch the PKs telling me drive forward. No, that's the wrong move. Because somebody who's sitting still, and if it is the M10, which it is at this point, because the other artillery just fired right there. You can see it come in. So now I know it's the M10 capping. Very good shotgun by my M44 on my team. But I know it's the M10 RBFM capping. So I've got to approach him in a way that he's not going to spot me. So coming around through the factory complex, if you notice, I'm keeping, you can see where the flag is. I'm keeping all of this concealment between me and the base to where I will poke through at the last second. Now, it looks like it's taking me a while, but I do have enough time to get there, and I know I do. I'll have around about 5 to 10 seconds, and he's spotted for artillery. I've got enough health. I'm going to push up. I shouldn't have rushed the shot, but artillery hits him. I finish him off. So now all it is avoid a return shot from artillery, which should have came in. The enemy M44 should have been reloaded. And our best bet is the cap. Which, there you go. You see, that's a very delayed shot. He must have been moving or looking in the wrong area. But he should have easily had a shot on me when I got spotted and killed the M10 RBFM. Regardless, our best bet is the cap and draw him out. Because at that point, you either win by capping or he actually does show up and you win by destroying him. I've already got the top gun. This is likely to be a high caliber. I'm not after much more. But the win is the more important thing anyways. And thankfully, my teammate in the M44 has been very proactive at the end. I actually messaged him and told him thanks for the help. It was actually very, very good to see such a proactive artillery player. And he made a lot of the difference in what ends up being a win here. Because at this point, you can see it's pretty much guaranteed. Neither one of us are driving a singular right into a waiting gun of an artillery. Because he could one-shot me, and he can definitely one-shot the M44 on my team. Now, I'm aiming this way because I know he was definitely towards the south. His last spot when the Type 64 rushed over here and detected him was over there. And I seen the shot coming in over the open field from that direction. But he had moved further south. And I had HE loaded hoping for the one shot, but I've already got my finger on the trigger and I fire anyways. But that secured the win. He got lured out by the capping. And I ended up with an ace on top of the high caliber top gun and base defender. And I'm happy to use the What Replay site because the other one is acting up for me. So you'll see that here and there. But it was, again, I got ace, high caliber, top gun, defender with over 2,500 damage, 6 kills, and 1,200 base experience. But I hope you enjoyed this, and thanks for watching.